Hey YouTube, it's Josh Feinstein. This is Code Everest. This is my first video. I apologize if the gate that I put on the audio is sounding a little weird. I'm still messing around with some of the settings. I got my Neumann over here, my trusty Neumann. Alright, today I'm going to be making a wacky algorithm. Wacky in that it's kind of dumb. I thought it would be fun to make. It's going to take a number, and I want it to use recursion, and I want it to take in a language, and it can translate. Let's say if you put in 1, 2, 3, 4, it will print, if you decide English, 1,234. If you select Spanish, eventually I want to add extra languages. It should say 1,234. So yeah, that will be our function. So let's get right to it. I'm going to go here. All right. Ooh, this is fancy. All right, this is Repple, repl.it. If you don't know what it is, check it out. It's pretty cool. It works in your browser, and you can code. So I've already started a little bit. All I wrote was function number translator and return test, and then I invoke the function here, number translator, and when I run it, I see test. See? It's working. So let's begin. I want it to take in a number, and then I want it to take in a language, and we're going to default to English if you don't put in a number. So let's put in, I've already thought this through a little bit. I think the easiest way is to program it to handle a number less than 100. So from 0 to 99. I'm not going to handle negatives for now. I could probably do that pretty easily later. And then what I want to do is I want to have it basically break any number into an array, figure out how many digits are in that array, and then handle the decimal places differently. So it's going to handle the first two decimal places, 0 to 99, and then if there's another one, if there's a hundreds place, it's going to take that one digit and decide what to say about that one digit. If it's 2, it'll say 200. And then I'm going to use recursion to concatenate that with a recursive call on the last 2 digits only. I haven't written this. I haven't tried to write this yet. I've just been thinking about it on the train. And yeah, Code Everest, engage. So first of all, let's just, I want to, just for visuals, I'm going to set up, if the number is greater than 99, I want it to return, come back later, we're not there yet. And I don't know like how educational I want to make this channel, but I definitely want to talk through what I'm doing. So like I got to use backticks there because this quote threw me off. So let's try and run it. The number 100. Yeah. Oh, that's a little interesting REPL thing there. I'm getting the backslash. Doesn't do that in VS Code. Learned something already. So I'm going to do this with a lot of like kind of dumb if statements. So if, you know, the idea is I'm going to handle 0 through 9, and then I'm going to handle 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and then again, I'm going to get 0 to 100. See how that works. And then hopefully I'll find some novel ways to optimize this that I haven't thought of yet. So if the number is 0, and I'm just going to go through and I'm going to make all of these into strings. Oh, but wait a minute. I want to handle different languages. So I'm going to make objects. So English is going to be this. And then how do I want to do this? I don't know how I want to do this. So obviously the easiest way to think about this problem, or at least the easiest solution intellectually, but the hardest to code for a computer, would be that for every digit from 0 to infinity, you would just write that word in English or Spanish or whatever. So 0 equals ZERO, 1 equals ONE, and just write it out as an object to infinity. Obviously, you'd be typing for quite a while. That's why I think this function is fun, because while it does take a lot of writing up front to get to 0 to 99, I think I'll be able to add the hundredths place, the thousandths place, and then even, you know, I think that if I write this properly, I can do the 10 thousandths, 100 thousandths pretty easily, and then we get into millions. And then, you know, I'll probably stop at a million if I get that far in this video at least. but you can see how I don't have to write out all of that. And then because I'm going to use recursion, I think it's just going to be fun practice. And then for any of you that are watching that are not great with recursion, hopefully this can be helpful. So how do I want to do this? I'm going to start out with 0 is 0. And I'm basically just going to print these string values for every single digit, 0 through 9. So this is a little bit slow and kind of dumb, but it won't take too long. Seeing as I'm alone, I feel compelled to talk to no one because you are probably getting bored. I might put this into Premiere and just fast forward this stuff. I think I should do that because it's going to be really boring to watch this. But, okay, so that's 0 through 9, and then I'm just going to go ahead. I might have to change this. I'm not sure. The thing is, 10, 20, 30, I believe in Chinese and definitely in Japanese, they don't have these silly things 10, 20, 30. They just say 110, 210, 310, 410. If English worked that way, this would be a lot easier. But because we have these silly quirks in our language, I have to actually write all this stuff out. Another thing to note is that this won't work if I try to do it in Japanese, because in Japanese, they have a word mon, which is actually 10,000. So whereas we go 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, million, they would do something like, 500,000, I think would be 50, 10,000. Which to me is very confusing. I've conversed with some people in Japanese about how stupid that is. They disagree, but I think it's pretty dumb. I'm sure it made sense when they started doing that, but we live in a global society. Just confusing. Everything makes perfect sense when that's how you're raised. All right, so 80. So this is basically my data. I'm going to create another object called Spanish. And, once you code in all the different words, which is basically a dictionary, depending on the language. Yeah. So if I put in 0, if I do number translator 0 and language English, then I should put num, a language dot num, which would be English dot the number 0, which should give me the string 0. That's my aim. Here, hopefully I thought it through well enough. So if the number's 0, we're going to return language. Oh, wait. Yeah, I don't need to code all this one at a time. Let's see what happens. Like I said, I'm exploring. I haven't thought this through that much. But let's see what happens if I put in 0. Undefined. Repple isn't going to give me as much info as I was hoping. Oh, this is a string. Language is a string. English. Not this object English. Maybe I don't want this to be in quotes. English is not defined. Yeah, this doesn't make any sense. How would I do this using this object? I mean, my first idea was just to code this in if statements and then return all those values and concatenate them as the numbers increase in length. If I want to use it as an object, let's slow down here with this stuff. Let's just use English.number. Oh, it's because it's a variable. I can't use dot notation. That's something that I like to forget. That worked. Yeah, so that's a thing with objects. If your object is English and you want the number 20, you can do English.20. But if you're passing in a variable like number, you cannot use dot notation. You have to use bracket notation. So let's see if it works if I do language. I don't think it will. But let's find out. Yeah, English is not defined, and if I were to do a string, English, my object English is not. What? Oh, yeah. So that's giving me the string English at the character index 0, which is the letter E. So if I do 1, I'm going to get the letter N. So right now I've got a problem. I do not know how to... I don't know how I'm going to do this to get it into multiple languages. But for now, let's just write English for everything. And then once I get it working, I can go back to that. So now if I do this, if I put in 20... Right. So, ooh, now I'm running into a problem. 20 is 20. 21 is 21. So if I need to figure out some logic that's going to say, okay, if my number is 20, just return 20. If it ends in anything other than a 0, I want to return 20, and then I want to call number translator again with just the second digit, and then concatenate that with the 20. So if it's 21, I would get the return here. Let me show you on the screen. I would get 20, and then I'm going to call the function again using some array methods on 1, and then I'm going to do return 20 plus the call on the second digit 1, 20 plus 1. That's how this is going to work, no matter how long the number is. For my first video, I'm finding it a little anxiety-inducing that you're watching, and I have to figure this out in real time. And I feel like if it takes too long, you're going to think I'm an idiot. And I don't like that. So how am I going to do this? All right. If the number is less than 10, so this is going to handle anything less than 10, and it's also going to handle my later calls when I only give it the last digit as I'm breaking down, chopping down larger numbers. If the number is less than 10, I'm going to return English at the number. My indentation's a little funky. There we go. So let me make some notes here. Less than 10. And then this is really just the current cap of the function. So meaning like I haven't figured out how to get above 100 yet. So once I get to hundreds, that I'll make it, you know, if it's less than 999. That's just for me. So I find a lot of times that if you're looking at the entire problem at once, at least my brain tends to just get a little bit overwhelmed and be like, I don't know how I'm going to do that. So psychologically, just shutting it down there makes me feel better. So now this is going to be our less than 100 area. So if the number is less than 100, so let's say it's 10. If it's less than 100, I know it's 2 digits long. So I think the first thing I should do is I'm going to create a variable that says number as a string. Do I want it as a string? I don't know if you can split numbers like you can strings. Let's try that. So that's interesting. This has never come up for me. I've never tried this. So let's make a, all right. How do I want to do this? Well, let's say, for example, I took a string, 1, 2, 3, 4 dot split. Console.log. If I were to log this, I should see an array that just says 1, 2, 3, 4. And I do. But I've never tried to do it on a number. What happens? Yeah, you can't do that. I thought it wouldn't work. What does it say? Identifier unknown, identifier directly after number. Yeah, you can't do that. So I think what I want to do inside my function, I want to use an array because I want to be able to remove characters and then I don't know if that's going to cause me a problem if yeah, so I may need to refactor my object here so that every single thing that gets entered is a string, because I'm going to use string manipulation. Basically going to turn these numbers into strings, turn those into arrays, and then manipulate those arrays to do different things. So the first thing I want to do when my function starts is I'm going to turn it, let number as string equal number plus an empty string. And if my memory serves me, I believe that's going to convert. You're basically taking 1, 2, 3, 4 and adding nothing but as variable type string, and it should convert that number into a string. So now let number as array. These variable names are very long because I want this to be readable. I'm not doing code golf. If you want code golf, find another channel. Okay, number array. Wait, what am I doing? Number as array would be number as a string dot split, like so. And then I can console log number as array just to make sure that it's working as intended. Oh, so I need to, yeah, I'll give it 20. 2, 0. Boom. So, yeah, number as array. We'll use that. That's a lot of typing. I'm just going to call this num now. So everything I work with... Oh, I don't need this. So now we're working with num. The if statements are going to work with numbers, but I'm going to work with the array. So if it's less than 10, we're going to give it num sub 0. Because we know if the number's less than 10, the array that is num is only going to have one character. So it's going to have index 0. That's going to be that. So now for less than 20, less than 100. If the number is less than 100 and num at sub 0, the first character of that 2-digit array, or first index, not character, if that, the second character, which would be at index 1, is equal to 0. So what do we have? It's less than 100, which means it's 2 digits. The second index is a 0, so it's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, or 90. If those conditions are met, we're going to return English at number, the actual number that was passed in, because we want the whole number. Yes. Okay. So let's try this. Does it work? Undefined. I made a mistake. English at number. We're using number translator at 20. Num at index 1 equals 0. The number is less than that. Num. Let's console log num. This is debugging. Yeah, I'm getting 2, 0. And then right after that, we'll console log number. All right, so number's 20, num is 2, 0. So if number is less than 100, it's 20. And num sub 1 equals 0. Oh, let's try that. Console.log num sub 1 should be a 0. It is a 0. Return English, which is here, at number. Yeah, I don't see why this isn't working. That's bizarre. Why is this not working? Let's do some more console logging. Console.log English. If you guys are watching this and it's just a typo and I'm not seeing it, I'm going to feel really stupid. In fact, I kind of wish I was doing this in VS Code, because I'm not getting the type of help from these errors that I'd like. English at number should be 20. Cannot read property 20 of undefined. English is undefined? Why would that be? Cannot read property 20 of undefined. Didn't we do this before and it worked? Let's try it with the number 2. Yeah, that's working. If numbers less than 100, English at num sub 0. And num 0, return English at number. Oh, interesting. It's because I did this. Let's try this. Yeah, that still works. So English at number should still be... Let me get rid of this for a second. And do 20 again. Yeah, that does work. So the problem is with my conditional. And nub at index 1 is equal to 0. Should be equal to 0. Undefined. That doesn't make sense to me. Get rid of this for a sec. What am I doing wrong? Num sub 1. Num is 2, 0, so num sub 1 should be 0. Unfortunately, I turned the air conditioner off so that the audio would be good, but I am sweating now, and it's only been, I don't know how many minutes. Sorry, AC's on. You're gonna have to listen to that. Because my desire to not sweat, is greater than my desire for you to not hear room sound. Num 1 at 0 is... there's another way I could write it. 0 is not truthy, so I could write if num at 1 is not truthy. No, it's not working. This doesn't make sense to me. Why does this not make sense? Num sub 1 is truthy. Interesting. That doesn't make sense to me. I'm going to abandon this. And I'm going to try and do the case where it's 21. If number is less than 100 and you know, it could be, instead of doing JavaScript, I did this in a thing, I just selected ES6. Doesn't make any sense to me, but let's go back. I'm gonna make a new one. See here, I chose ES6 REPL. Let's just do JavaScript REPL, because I'm at the point where I don't understand why it's not working at all. Number, I'm gonna call it with camel case because I already wrote one of these. It's fine. Paste all this stuff. I don't know what this window is about. There we go. What do we get here? Something slow. Okay, cool. Got a problem, which is fine. All right, if num at index 1 is equal to 0, so in the case of 20, that should be 20. I get undefined. So that's not the problem. What is the problem here? Num 1. I guess this is when you look up documentation. Multiple conditionals, JavaScript. I feel like I'm going nuts because it's the double ampersand. Multiple ifs, no. Let's just do this. JavaScript. And, yeah, true and true. So it should just do this. Oops. It should just do if num1 is not truthy. Num1 should be false. Frustrating. 20. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. And if it's 21, I get 21. No, I shouldn't get anything if it's 21. Number as string. Ah. This doesn't make sense, but let's just console log number. See that it's not getting mutated somehow. Oops. English. Oh. Gotta do it down here. Yeah. Console.log number 21. Log num at sub1 is 1. And then undefined. English at number is undefined. That's the problem, probably. Why is that a problem? English at number. Is my number getting... Oh, because it's 21. Duh. There is no 21 in my object. Okay, so... Yeah, this works. I don't understand the issue here. Let's forget about the less than 100. If num at sub 1 it's just not printing anything. Now Repple prints undefined under everything you do. Like these work, I'm going to get 2 answers and undefined. So I shouldn't really be looking at that. So what's the problem here? You know what? I'm going to pause this and then come back to it when I figure it out. There we go. Okay, so I figured out what the problem was. I haven't even tested it. I'm just so sure that I figured it out. And it's kind of stupid. And yeah, it happens to people all the time, and it's you got to check your variable types. You got to make sure you're comparing the right things. Number if it's less than 100, and num at 1. Now what I was doing, making sure it's equal to 0. It can't be because I converted to a string. I have to make sure it's equal to the string character 0. Woof, that was annoying. All right, so now if it is, I'm going to print this. Please work, please work, please work. Yay, it works. Okay, else. That was so annoying. Okay, so now we're going to return. So, okay, so if it's less than 100, 2-digit number, and the second character of that number is a 0, we're just going to return our 20s, our 30s, 40, 50, 60. If it's not a 0, which is our else, anything, if it's two digits long and doesn't end in a 0, we're going to return our English at number, which is 20. All right, so now we're going to test 21 at number plus an empty string in between the words plus, I'm going to refactor this. Don't freak out if you hate the way I'm writing this. What is the thing called? Number translator? Number trans... Ooh, but wait a minute. Wait a minute. I'm going to be passing this. How do I convert it? I think you can convert a string back to a number by doing dot number. Let's try it. So at number translator, and we're going to now give this, instead of the full 21, we're going to give it just the second character, which is a 1. So it should say 20 space 1. So this is going to be num at index 1 dot, I think it's like this. And if not, I'll look it up, but trial and error. Why not? Ah, not a function. So let's do some Googling. Convert string. Oh, not sting. We're not doing a show at the police. Convert string to number JavaScript. Parse int, method converts a string into an integer. There it is. Oh my god, imagine writing this for every decimal place up till God knows what. No thank you. Alright, so parse, was it parse int? I was thinking about how dumb that would be. I shouldn't be so negative. How difficult that would be. And I forgot if it was parse int or what. Okay, let's try now. Do I get 21? No. Num at 1 dot parse int is not a function. Num sub 1 is a character. Let's go to the MDN and read some real documentation. Parse int. parses a string argument and returns, oh, a string argument. I think my syntax is wrong. Yeah, parse int with the string inside. So we're going to pass number translator parse int with our num at index 1. Let's see if that works. Undefined 1. That didn't work. Return. So this is less than 10, so it's giving us the 1. English at number. Oh, right. Right. English at number, it's 21. There is nothing for 21. So, all right, so in the case that it's a, let's say we're working in 20s, if it's not a 0, we need to realize that we are dealing with 20 even though we can't access our object at 20. So then we can throw in here, how can we do this? We could do parse int. This is what I love about coding, is that if you can figure out how to do it once with, how would I say this? With generic things, I mean, they are variables or like functions or whatever. It doesn't matter. As long as it's not the actual piece, it will work in any case. So I'm not going to write, if it's 21, then make it 20. I'm going to write, take the thing of 2 digits and remove the thing and then add a 0. And then it's going to work in every case. I think that's cool. So we're going to take parse int. So this is our string now. It's going to be num at 0, which is in the case of 21 is 2. And then we're going to add a 0. So that's 2 plus 0 as a string, and then parse it into an integer. Should work. Yeah, but here's what's cool. Because I didn't write, if it's a 20, make it a 2, 0. I just wrote parse int num at 0. If I make this a 31, awesome. 91. And I believe I've done it. 99. Let's try 27. Did it. Did it. Let's try 0. Let's try 4. Awesome. Number translator works. If I go to 100, obviously I've capped it. Yep, come back later. We're not there yet. I was wondering on the train the other day, what if I put 0, 1? That might screw up the whole thing. Oh, no, it still works. Okay. I don't have to handle that. I thought I might have to write something to handle that. Awesome. All right. Cool. We're on our way. So now, if it's less than 1,000, how do we handle this? This is where it gets fun because our infrastructure is set up. If it's less than 1,000. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the first digit, get that to write our hundreds place, and then we're going to recursively call it on our last 2 digits, which is going to already work because we've already built it. So, I mean, should it say 134? Should it say 134? That's easy to change. That's a style question. I'm going to go with whatever I feel like when we get there. Let's get there. So now, if I don't handle the 100, the 200 case, 201 is different. But if I don't do something special for those, I'm going to get 100 0 or 200 0. So first, let's update our object to handle. And again, I apologize. Oh, no. I don't need to do this. Wait, hold on. Let me figure this out. If it's less than 1,000 and num. So now there's 3 places. So there's num sub 1 is equal to the string 0 and num sub 2 is equal to the string 0. Let's make this clean. So if all of these are true, we're going to return English, and then we're going to go parse int num at 0, which is our first place. So if it's 300, that would be the 3. So we're going to return English parse int at 3, which is going to give us the English word 3 plus a space plus the word 100. Oh, I said I was going to refactor this. Let me do that. So I'm going to use template literal. And then I'm just going to write a space there. This should work. Unless I'm nuts. Let's try it again. 8. Let's try 88. No. Trying to get too fancy for myself. Put myself on the spot. Oh, right. I'm used to my linter. Rely on it so much that I can't see. What am I doing? This is awful. I'm going to undo everything. It was working. I don't like Repple. 88. 8. Oh. 88. Right, so let's do 100. Oh. So now if it's less than 999, greater than 10, 0. What did I do wrong? 10. Why is it giving me 10? That's fun. 10, 0. If it's less than 1,000, num is 0. Num at 2 is 0, which means it's, yeah, parse int at num 0 should be, it should just be a 1, not a 10. Let's console log, console.log, num. It's our array. Oh, I'm not logging anything. Oh. Yeah, why am I not logging anything? Console.log num. Let's turn off this return. Interesting. Something else is giving me 10, 0. I think it's this. Yeah. So the code block between lines 45 and 47 is cutting me off, and I don't appreciate it. If it is less than 100, why would it grab that if it is 100? That's annoying. 10, 0. That's so weird. It's like splitting it funny. Oh. Alright, time to pause the video and debug this. I will be right back. Okay, I figured it out. It is because here I have an else. And that else is handling everything else. This has to be more specific. So this has to be if. So this thing adding the 0 is taking my 1, adding a 0. That was why I was getting 10, 0. That is not what I want. So now if it's less than 100 and the second character does not equal 0, then do that. Okay, so now we're back here. Let's see if this works now. 100, beautiful. 200, it works. So now let's be specific here. Else if. And this is going to be a little interesting because I want to do or, not and. 100, 110 or 101. Neither one of those should run that code above. So how can I handle that? You know what I'll do? I'm going to do a nested. I'm going to nest it. Ah, okay. You know what I can do? I can just do this. I don't need to check if it's less than 1,000 because I'm already in that block. So I'll just go here. Oh no. They just have to not both equal that. Yeah, that's fine. Just for readability, let's just make it all the same. Yeah, that'll do it. So now what are we going to return? We're going to return. Okay, so this is, let's say it's 101. So we're going to return 100, 1 space, 100 space, and then our recursive call, number translator, and now it's going to be basically this, but it's going to be that plus that. 202. Undefined. Awesome. Parse int num 0 plus. What did I do wrong? Did I spell this wrong? No. Maybe some more space here. Okay. Parse int num1 plus num2. So what I'm basically trying to do is trying to get from, let's say it's 202. I want to get the 200 place, and it's going to say 200. And then I'm going to call number translator on 02, which is what I'm trying to do now, and it's giving me an error. Let me just do this. This is not the answer. Oh, was I missing extra? No, that's right. Let me get rid of this. Let's try that. Nope. Parse int. Yeah. Okay, what's the issue? Let me get rid of this. Uh-oh. I hit a bookmark. That's not good. All right. Let's just run this. Undefined. Let's make sure I didn't break anything. 200, right. So I'm gonna add. Oh, yeah. Wait, what? No, either one of those could be a 0. They just have to both not be zeros. Oh, yeah. Okay. This is supposed to be an OR. Yeah, either one has to not be 0. It's only a 200 even or a 300 even if they're both 0. So either one has to not be a 0, not both. Is that why I got an error? I don't think so. Actually, yeah, I think because I was skipping that block. Oh, I already had my plus. That block was getting skipped because I never met that condition because that condition was impossible. 200, 202. Yes. 212. 200. Oh, this is a problem. Oh, right. Num 1 plus 2. Run. 210 2. Oh, I forgot the teens. The teens are the worst. 10-2 is what it should be. Someone a long time ago decided that we needed special fancy words for everything in between 10 and 20. Stupid. Okay, yeah, I forgot the teens. Okay, so let me hard code these because I don't think there's any other way to do that. Okay. Oops, anchor. Get out of here. 13. What a crazy language. At least for the Romance languages, I'm glad. Oh, I just started writing it in Spanish because I'm thinking 20 steps ahead. In languages like Spanish, French, I believe. I speak Spanish. I don't know about French. We're going to have the same problems here. So hard coding all these is going to come in handy. I have to write a conditional for being less than. This is so dumb. Okay, 17. A computer programmer did not invent the English language. There's no way a programmer would have made this way, because this makes no sense. I think the singularity will never occur because a computer will never figure out how dumb English is. And that's obviously hyperbole because Google Translate works pretty well. All right. So what do I have to do here? If it's less than 10, now I got to do teens. This is so dumb. I don't like this part. If number is greater than 10 and less than 20. Oh, can't. Like that. Okay. Then return English at number. English is not defined. Because I didn't spell it right. 212. Awesome. That was a quick fix. But all right. I'm going to add the and. Oops. Let's keep this together. What did I do now? Oh, I need a plus. 212. Awesome. 955. Ah, so now we can see this thing shaping up. And what I like about this, a couple things I like about this. One, you can see how every time I go another tens place, and it's going to get more complicated when I get into 10,000, 100,000, up to getting to 1,000,000. But what's cool is, it's like Qbert. You got Qbert on a little pyramid, but then it keeps growing and growing as the steps go down. So you see here, less than 10, just do that. The teens, ignore that. That's just a weird thing. Here, we're parsing, we're adding the 0, and then we're adding, you know, the tens place. Here, now we're adding num at index 1 and 2. Now, later, I'm going to have to do index 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And it's just going to be building and building. Luckily, in everyday use, we don't need to translate quadrillions. So I don't think this function will take all that long to complete. Yeah, in fact, I think this is a good start for this video. I think this is a fun project because it's almost useless, and for some reason that makes it fun for me. So yeah, thank you for watching. If you were watching me struggling and you knew exactly what I did wrong and you were just like, oh, come on, dude. Why aren't you figuring this out? It's the or, like you originally thought. You talked yourself out of it. Or like, oh, you're comparing a 0 to a string 0. Why didn't you figure it out? Well, you know what? I'm sure you do stuff like that too, so leave me alone, huh? This is a channel about having fun. So stop bullying me. All right? All right. Last note. Here, where's my mouse? Okay, please, 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 please. Constructive feedback would be great. So yeah, thank you for watching. This is and thanks for watching. This is me in my code land. Oh my god, if I move my hands quickly you can see the green screen. What? All right, subscribe. Yeah, so thank you so much, and there will be plenty more videos, and I will be getting better at this. This is my first try, and yeah, that's it. Thanks.